Now let's get into it. Tonight, we wanted to have a conversation with you about Valentine's Day. Valentine's was what, 4 days ago now? Yes. Sunday.
Yes.
And I tell you what, it was an interesting one with COVID-19 and all of that going on. I'm wondering how people celebrated Valentine's.
Yeah.
The restaurants are open, so you could go out to dinner, but with the whole social distancing
in some
thing,
areas,
yeah,
go out.
Yeah. So how were you celebrating Valentine's? But what we really wanted to talk about was not so much your COVID-19 Valentine's, but Valentine's in general. For us, after 22 years of relationship, we dated for 2 years before we got married. 22 years of relationship. We've never, let me repeat it again, never celebrated Valentine's Day.
Really? I thought we at least celebrated one.
No.
Oh.
Well, I mean, we had I think we went out to dinner with some other couples once.
Yeah, I mean, but that's celebrating it.
Okay. I didn't count it
because it wasn't. Not a Valentine.
Neither are you.
I mean, I'm not, that's because I'm not but I don't, it doesn't excite me. Like, oh, I'm going to wait this day and he's going to get me the same gift. He gives me candy. It's either candy, flowers. I mean, what's
how many stuffed animals can one woman have?
I mean, not to bash anybody for celebrating it every year.
Yeah.
Because some people need that day.
Yeah, sure.
Some people need that day to show that love to that significant other.
Yeah.
Or that person that they are in a relationship with. And so that day is exciting for them.
Yeah.
And it brings them joy to give that person.
Yeah.
Or the other, vice versa, to receive.
Mm-hmm.
So that might just be an exciting day for other people, but for us, we haven't made it a big deal.
I mean, made it a small deal. It's not a deal at all. Listen, and don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking anybody who loves Valentine's Day. I'm not knocking anybody who just can't wait for it to show up. I know so many people. They can't wait for it to show up. It's their day. It's their holiday. But my challenge is this. If you look so much forward to Valentine's Day, is it because you get nothing else the rest of the year?
Oh, that would be horrible.
That would be a challenge.
I mean, yeah.
Right? Like, that's the question.
That's why a lot of people look forward to it because
nothing else happens.
Yeah.
So what are you doing the other 364 days of the year for your spouse?
Right.
Like if I'm waiting for February 14th to tell you I love you, does that get turned off on February 15th?
That would be, I love you on 14th. This is the next day. It's like,
right,
whatever.
Right. Like you got some flowers and some teddy bears that's lingering, all of the chocolate that you couldn't finish on that day is still hanging around. But here we are 4 days later. What are we doing? Right? Like where are we now? 4 days after, 4 weeks after, 4 months after. Why has Valentine's Day become so important for people if I love you as much as I profess to love you on that day? Right? Like that's the question that I had. That's the burning question that I've been wanting to ask, because you had that, like you go all out, but I'm saving up money.
Yeah, like how long do you prepare for Valentine's Day?
Right.
Do you prepare the whole entire year?
Have you been planning this?
Have you been planning this since January 1?
Right, because the stores
have only in the second month in February. And after the New Year's, then it's Martin Luther King, then it's other holidays, and then it's Valentine's Day. Yep. So it's like, do you prepare the whole month of January?
Right.
For that one day? Because the stores bring out the stuff.
Listen, you walk into Walmart on January 17th.
Right,
you got hearts,
like they force you to think about it.
They gonna make sure you know that. Now that one gets me. How do people forget it's Valentine's Day when you go to any store, you turn on any commercial, and that's what they're leading up to? All of them jewelry stores, they come out with their brand new commercials in January because they got Valentine's coming up. Yeah, every kid speaking, right? We ain't promoting them because they're not responsible. But those are the things that really just kind of set me back. Like, Valentine's Day has become so, first of all, commercial.
Yeah.
And you always bring up, at least I know I always go back to, why was Valentine's Day created in the first place?
Yeah.
When you look up the history of it, it had nothing to do
It was a massacre.
with love. Yeah, the Valentine's Day massacre. Ooh, yeah. Right. So they had to die in order for us to fall in love. People had to die. A couple dudes had to lose their head so that we could fall in love.
Maybe they turned it around to make it a joyous day. Like, yeah, we're not going to celebrate the death of 4 men. We're just going to make it about love.
Right, but they loved it him. Yeah. I loved it that. Anyway, so that's the question for tonight. Valentine's Day versus Valentine's year. Can you have Valentine's every day of the year? Can it be significant every day of the year? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so, because Valentine's Day is one day that we celebrate, but what are you doing? What all are you doing in that day?
Mm-hmm.
You're purchasing gifts.
Right.
You're telling the person you love them.
Right.
You're making dinner for them. You're making them feel wanted. All of those things you do you should be doing throughout the year to make whoever you are with feel like they are wanted.
But I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a minute.
Okay.
Because if I know that I have Valentine's Day, then I don't need to do the other stuff. And if you're gonna let me not do anything until Valentine's Day, then why should I bother doing all that stuff during the rest of the year? Right?
Well, who does that?
Who doesn't do that?
Oh.
Think about it.
Okay.
Think about the shop talk. Think about the water coolers talk at work, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody's talking about Valentine's Day coming up. What he doing? What he gonna be doing? What he getting you? What I can't wait to see what he do. Right? The day after you come to work, what did y'all do? That's what everybody talks about.
Do you really tell people what? Are there people out there who really tell other people what you do on Valentine's Day?
Listen, people can't wait to talk about what he did or what he didn't do. And I'm saying,
girl, you should see.
That's what I'm saying.
Girl, you should have seen when he bought me.
Okay, that's it. That's it. I'm telling you, it's so interesting to me how one day has such a buildup that once it happens, the day after, that's when all the talk is. He did this, he didn't do that.
Well, you probably exhausted the day after.
Hopefully.
Well, from your perspective.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Valentine's, in my mind, Valentine's should be on the weekend.
Exhausted.
That's all I'm saying. Valentine's should be on Friday night. Every Friday.
I'm just saying, like, because it can exhaust you, like trying to think of a present.
Yeah.
How much it's going to cost.
Yeah.
You saving this amount for this big gift or a small gift. It can be a personal gift, like something that you treasure.
Mm-hmm.
It can exhaust you.
Yeah.
And there are some of us, anybody, who compare ourselves to others. Like you watch all these YouTube clips or commercials or TV shows, and you see what that couple did or what that spouse did for their spouse on Valentine's Day. And it's like, oh, I could do that. No, my bank account don't. My bank account don't say I could do that.
Right.
But some people will break their bank to give that special person a gift. Oh, what if the person who does all of that, I had a brain freeze. Oh, the person who gives, and the person who receives is ungrateful.
Oh,
like they like, I don't want. Have you ever been dumped on Valentine's Day?
Ooh, no, not me.
I don't remember.
You haven't, because you've been with me most of your life.
Wasn't.
I'm just saying, you've been with me your whole adult life. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? You've been with me your whole adult life.
Well,
praise the Lord.
You know what I mean? You telling the truth. 20 years.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you're only 22. I mean, 41.
I mean, I've received Valentine, not since we were married, but like in high school, received.
We'll talk about that.
Valentine's gifts, but
yeah, we don't talk about high school. At any rate, moving right along.
So Valentine's Day versus year.
Valentine's Day versus the year, because that I keep going back to that question. If you spend $200, $300, $500 on Valentine's Day. Flowers, candy, teddy bears, right? Jewelry, out to dinner, clothes.
Proposals.
Right? What's left for the rest of the year? Like, do you keep going? Do you take the bar to the next level for the birthday? For if we're talking to married folks, so your anniversary or, Christmas, those kind of things, Mother's Day. How do you compete with, like, you're going to go broke trying to do all of that stuff? You got to plan for Valentine's Day the way you plan for vacation.
Right.
And it boggles the mind why people put so much emphasis and they put so much value in one day. That's the question that I have. Like, why have we?
You mean on Valentine's?
On Valentine's Day.
Because you saying one day.
Yeah.
It could be somebody's birthday that you put the emphasis, but we're talking specifically about Valentine's Day.
And the reason that I'm focused on Valentine's Day is because it's about love, or supposed to be, should be about loving your significant other, your spouse, right? 2, we have what?
2, go ahead.
I'm just saying, stay with me. 2, we dump all of the affection, professions, confessions of our emotions, our affections, our love for our significant other onto and into that one day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if I do Valentine's right, I don't have to do anything else the rest of the year. Or at least that's the mentality that a lot of people have.
Do people think like that?
I think they do.
Oh.
I mean, I've had conversations over the years with a lot of guys who felt that way. Subconsciously, they've been programmed that as long as I get Valentine's right, I'm good till her birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And it always makes you, or it begs the question, where did that come from? A lot of people say Valentine's Day has become commercialized so much that, it's the industry, it's the card companies, right? Hallmark and all those cats who make the cards for the special days. They're the ones who've made Valentine's such a big deal, but I disagree.
No.
Somewhere along the way, somebody decided that one day a year was enough for you to declare your love for somebody else.
Well, what are some tips that we can to make your significant other feel loved or like it's Valentine's Day all year round?
We'll get to that in a minute. Because I don't want to lose this. I don't want to lose this because it boggles my mind. And ever since we chose this as a show topic, I've been going back and forth in my mind, and I've been trying to figure out, where did the notion of you have to get Valentine's Day right, and you'll be okay. I've been going back and forth in my mind with that one ever since we chose this as a show topic, because I'm trying to ascertain, I'm trying to get to the root of the heart of why we've put so much emphasis on one day, when you and I, 22 years into our relationship, could care less about that one day. I remember how many times have we had to defend our position about not caring about Valentine's Day. Like, how many conversations have we had with people and they're thinking that we're crazy because we don't see the need to spend an absorbent amount of money on Valentine's?
Well, I mean, it's a lot going on in families and relationships, and people probably actually need that day because your life is so busy. I mean, not too busy to say I love you or to leave a note, but that's just probably a day where you can focus on, because some people just need focus, like need attention. Like, hey, is Valentine's Day coming up? Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Now I can slow down or give that special
unless you didn't plan, then you race it.
Yeah, unless you didn't plan. But still, I believe that some people do need that day because life is so busy. Mm-hmm. Life is so hectic. And just to show my love, mm-hmm. how much I love you on that day is special, because life gets in the way. And it's like, I may have forgotten to say I love you before I went out the door, mm-hmm. every day this week or every other day. But it
sound like you testify a little bit. Okay.
No.
You confess a little bit?
No, I text you.
That's right. Yeah, you do.
But some people do need that day just to slow down and think about the other person, because maybe their job is that high where they're always on a run or never home, or they always have to do this and not in the house, or forget to do that. And they are leaving that significant other in the dark, like not feeling like they are receiving the love from that person. So maybe Valentine's Day is just a day where we need to refocus and say, hey, this is the day that you need to show love, because it is crazy. COVID.
That's a whole nother thing.
mean, geez.
I remember a year ago, sometime in March, April, I read an article, maybe it was May, where they said in the article that since the inception of COVID and all of the isolation and people shutting down, and they locked down the whole country and the whole world. Nobody was leaving the house. Everyone is sheltering in place, stay in the house. The request for divorce skyrocketed by some 40-something% because everybody was locked in the house with somebody that they were trying to get away from anyway. I mean, what do you do with that? What do you do with somebody that won't tell you they love you until they bought a card that says, I love you?
Yeah, and some people, it's hard for people to say. I mean, if you married, it shouldn't be hard.
You should have said it the day that you got engaged. I mean, why do we struggle with that?
I really want to see what people did for Valentine's Day during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Like ideas, like did you create a restaurant in your home, or it could have been fun for people who are stuck in the house during Valentine's Day. I mean,
I ain't got that kind of
other
money.
than the gifts and the candy. Yeah. Your bedroom should have been popping.
Watch it.
Because you've been stuck in the house.
Yeah.
So
but to that point though, if we've been stuck in the house, I've been seeing you. I have, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Oh,
so if I've been seeing you, it's kind of hard to turn that corner. Everybody don't have you sitting at home. But I'm just saying, I gotta keep it real.
If you're open with your partner or your significant other, like you've had communication, you've talked about your wants, because even like during Christmas or birthday, you throw hints out like, "Ooh, that ring look nice on that commercial." Or
now, why you gotta go straight to the ring? Why you gotta go straight to the ring? No, don't look down. Don't look down. Stop looking at your hand.
It's 20 years coming up, y'all.
We talked about that. Stop looking at your hand. No.
20-year big diamond.
See that D word.
But
you've been brainwashed by the system. That's what that is. But it's true. I don't want anybody to walk away from the show thinking, "Oh Lord, I'm wrong for investing in Valentine's Day." That's not what we're saying. That's at least not what I'm saying. What I am trying to drive home is you don't have to be handcuffed to one day.
Right.
We've got to get people to the place. Yeah, exactly. Get to the place where you're sharing with your significant other daily, just because. It didn't have to be Valentine's Day. I think it was a movie, Joanna Man, and Vivica Fox. Don't look at me like that. Vivica Fox was in the movie, and her character in the movie, she said, it would be nice to get flowers from a man just because it's Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you think about stuff like that, why don't we, or why can't we, or why won't we celebrate our significant other just because it's Wednesday or Thursday or Saturday? Or you know what? You do it all the time. You wake up Saturday morning, I'm gonna fix breakfast for everybody, even though ain't nobody up but you and a dog.
Well, there are some couples that do that there are some real couples out there who really and who do that constantly. Sure.
Yeah. And again, I'm not knocking nobody. If you're a Valentine's Day person where that day just holds significant value for you, some people get married on Valentine's Day. like you said, some people propose on Valentine's Day. The birthday is on Valentine's Day.
Their first date.
Yep.
On Valentine's Day.
Unless you got dumped. Unless you got dumped on the 13th, because I ain't had no plans for the 14th. Listen, I knew a guy like that in high school. I did. God bless him. He would break up with all his girlfriends on the 13th, and then call them back on the 15th. Because he didn't want to do that for Valentine's Day.
Oh my goodness!
I'm listening. That was what he did. That was his thing.
I hope he's not watching. That was wrong.
No, I hope he is.
I hope you. That was wrong.
Listen, it's different people out there, man. People do that. I know girls who did it though. I know a girl who broke up with her boyfriend like January, and then got back together with him in March because they didn't want to do that for Valentine's Day. Not everybody loves that holiday. I've never liked it, but for different reasons. I don't mind spending money on you, and you know that. I'll buy you almost anything that you want that I can afford. But for me, the reason that I don't like Valentine's Day is primarily because in my mind, it takes a person off the hook for the rest of the year. It removes the responsibility and accountability for me showing you, declaring to you my love, my affection, my devotion to you.
And you gotta spend money.
For the rest.
He like, I just put money in my pocket.
I mean, yeah, I do save money. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. Fellas, talk to your wife tonight. Look her in the eye. She should be sitting next to you or close to you. Look her in the eye right now. Normally they say don't look at him, face the camera. But I want you to look at her and ask her, does she really like them flowers that you keep bringing home and wasting your money on? Because this one here.
He gonna bring
yes, I'm gonna bring it.
Was this when we were dating, or was it
when we got married?
When we first got married.
When we first got married in our first apartment. Let me tell you what. So here, let me set the stage for you. The year was 2001. Yeah, 2001. We moved into our first apartment, and I just knew I was being a good man. Oh, every day I come home. Not every day. I take it back. Not every day, but about once a week, I'm bringing her fresh bouquet of flowers. Not roses, but a bouquet of flowers. Very flower, different colors. They smell good and everything. And then I put them, and she put them on dining table. Oh, they're beautiful. Thank you so much. Put them on dining table, a little vase, and we think I'm doing something, and I'm riding the train in DC in the subway, and people was like, "Oh, look at him." Well, half the people on one. It was so funny. One side of the subway car always said the same thing. He must have did something bad because that's some really beautiful flowers. And the other side of the car was like, "Oh, that's so sweet." But it was always the older women who said that. So the older women, "Baby, that's so sweet. You keep taking care of your wife." But the younger was like, "He must have did something. He tried to get out the doghouse." Once a week, whenever I would leave for work, I check the flowers. If they look like they was wilted a little bit, that day I bring her some new flowers. This went on for at least a month before you finally said to somebody else. She didn't tell me. She told somebody else. I hate them flowers. I don't know why he keep bringing me flowers.
I didn't say hate.
What'd you say?
I said, I don't know why he keep bringing me flowers. I do not like flowers.
Got me out here wasting but wouldn't tell me. I had to overhear conversation from the other room.
You overheard?
Yeah, yes, I did. How you think I found out?
I thought I told you.
No, you told me after I asked you.
Oh.
Got me out here wasting money. I got no money for that.
He had to do it for at least.
It was. Listen, I lost. Lord have mercy. I lost so much money. Soon as I stopped buying flowers, we bought furniture. That's how much money I was wasting. We got us a living room set, a dining room table, a whole nine. But the point is, have a conversation with each other and let each other know what you like and what you don't. Because you could be wasting time and money on something. And it sends the wrong image, I think, the wrong message. Because I'm doing what I think, because I just knew that you love those flowers. I'm like, what woman would not want fresh flowers from her man on a regular basis?
Me.
Like, of course, I got the one. I got the one.
Because I always used to think back at that. I'm like, so many women always be like, I love fresh flowers. I love the way they smell. And I look at them, I just be like, okay, I'm going to kill them the next day. I was not good with flowers. That's why I don't like fresh flowers. Like, give me plastic plants, plastic flowers any day because they stay beautiful. I don't know how to take care of real flowers. So that when he was bringing them in, I was like, oh, they're so cute. And then by the third day, they was like dead.
Right.
And I was like, And then he kept bringing them in. I was like, he gonna keep wasting his money because I only like them when they. I mean, anybody only like them when they're blooming.
Sure.
But
which makes sense. Which is why I kept.
I don't know why mine kept dying. Like I would put them in vase and, but they just. I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. And I was like, I didn't want him to stop bringing fresh flowers because they were pretty. And so they
weren't. Right.
Yeah.
Wasting my money. Anyway, so have a conversation with you. I mean, I ain't mad no more because I ain't got to do it no more. Right. Thank the Lord. You know, I stopped doing it. But you got to have a conversation, and you've got to get to the place where the investment that you're making in the relationship is done not from a posture of this is how much I love you. Yeah. Right? But this is just to let you know that I love you. Because you can't, I know, okay, so let me say it this way. There's not an item in the world that I could buy you that is equal in size or value to how much love I have for you. I'm saying this to you. Yeah. No, you're supposed to say, oh, there you go. Okay, stay with me. Read the script. I like that. That was off the cuff. I was going to say it when you... And so, because of that, I don't want to buy you anything because anything I buy you comes up short. And I don't ever want to short you. Yeah. There are so many people who do equate the value of the thing with the presumed value of their significant other's love. Yeah. Like, okay, he bought me an eighth of a carat diamond, so he must don't love me that much. Yeah. Right? He don't love me. Right. If you love me.
Oh, he bought me a car. Girl, okay. He love you.
Okay. Or if you love me, you'll take me to Red Lobster. Right? Or some fancy. But if you love me, you will. If you love me, you'll buy. If you love me, you'll do. But the reality is, if I love you, then yeah, I'll take you. But it shouldn't be what they think it should be. Right. And that's really the next segment of what we want to talk about. Like you said earlier, helping people celebrate their love.
Maybe he lusts you.
Uh-oh. Now that's a whole nother other show.
On Valentine's Day. He does love
That's
you.
a whole nother other show.
He lusts you.
I'm going to tell you a secret, ladies. Can I tell them a secret? Listen.
What secret is it?
That lingerie he bought you was not for you. That was for him. Can I be honest?
Well,
can I be real?
You don't like lingerie. So.
I don't. It's too much work. But you have to understand, all of the lingerie that he buys you, that's for him. Because he want to see you in what he going to take off of you. I'm just keeping it 100. Can I keep it real? I'm just keeping it real. That's why I don't buy her lingerie. A, she don't like it because it make her too cold. She got to be comfortable. She got to be hot when she sleep. 2, that's too much work trying to get all that off. Why am I buying then just to clap the thing? Okay, we ain't talking about that. That's another one.
That's another discussion.
That's a whole other conversation. It got hot in here. Okay. Let's talk about Valentine's for the whole year. Celebrating Valentine's. This is what I want you to do, and I want you to take some notes because we're going to help you out. Celebrate Valentine's. If Valentine's Day for you is a symbol of the love that you have for your significant other, then I want you to apply those same rules and principles to your significant other. Every day, all year, right? Don't limit your expression of love for your significant other to Valentine's Day. Celebrate them all year long. 3 things I'm going to give you, and then you got some points so you jump in when you jump in. But the first thing I want to do is, like you said earlier, we spend a lot of money on gifts for Valentine's Day. Well, why can't we do that all year round? Mm-hmm. Random gift giving is something that should be done all year. Again, because it's Wednesday. Yeah. Or Pastor Robbie used to always, whenever he went on a trip, he would always stop at some store and buy something for his family to remind them that, hey, I was thinking about you while I was out. You know, I do that for you a lot.
By the way, thank you, Pastor Robbie. He does that now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I sure do. But, you know, random gift giving. You know, if you know you run into the mall, stop in a store that you know your spouse likes and grab them something. Or take it a step further and go to their favorite store. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be something big. Mm-mm. I know you. You're always cold. So if I grab you a pair of woolly socks on a Thursday because you need, it's going to keep you warm. There are some times that you can give a random gift, and it's not because you did something wrong. It's not because your spouse is asking for it. What random gift giving means is you were thinking about them and you want them to know it. And if we can do that all year, not just Valentine's Day. Yeah, I'm thinking about you because Valentine's Day is coming up. But I challenge you to ask yourself, am I thinking about you because Valentine's Day comes up? Or am I thinking about Valentine's Day because Valentine's Day is coming up?
Right.
I'm thinking about you. I should be thinking about you every day. And so if I'm thinking about you every day, I should be able to, you know what? I was listening when she was talking, even though she didn't think I was. And I remember she said, blah, 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 blah. He said, let me go knock that out real quick. I got some free time, or before I get off work, or when I get off my lunch break. Random gift giving all year takes the relationship to a whole nother level. Because it says, I'm thinking about you. Or how you always fuss at me because I'm buying stuff that you said that you liked three weeks ago. And then you forgot about it. But I was listening. I paid attention. And I picked it up. Because it was something that you said you wanted.
And it doesn't only have to come from the man. Like women can also
say that.
Give a gift to their husband or their spouse.
Preach.
Just that you don't need something simple. Like I will go to the dollar store.
Right.
And he likes what's that candy? Hershey. The white chocolate.
That's right.
He likes the white chocolate Hershey.
Yeah.
And that's something that's still saying that I'm thinking about you. Yeah. Like I had you on my mind.
Yeah.
I'm at work and I'm like, hey, you want to go to lunch? I only got 30 minutes.
Right.
Where you want to meet up
yeah.
at? That's still thinking about that person and saying that you care enough to at least have lunch with you on my 30 minutes.
That's right. Listen, if all you got is a quick 30 minutes, make the most of those 30 minutes. Sit there and talk to each other, eat together, something, or how many times did we just get in the car and ride for those 30 minutes?
And just conversate.
Yeah, just talk. That little brain break will make the rest of your day go great. And gift giving doesn't have to be from the fancy stores. It can be, like you said, from the dollar store. If it's not the cost of the gift, it's the value of the action.
Yes.
That's the difference.
Ooh,
that's the key.
The
right
value
now.
Of the action.
The value of the action. Because, again, if you went out of your way on a day that didn't hold any other significance other than I crossed your mind.
Yeah.
That is huge and speaks volumes to the reality that you think about me and you think of me.
Yes.
And when we get to that place where we're doing for each other, because we think about each other.
Everybody be covered.
Everybody be covered. So that's the first thing. Random gift giving all year long. Second thing that I have, and this one is going to mess with you, so hold on to the bed.
I'm sorry. Not a gift every day.
Right. Right.
Every once in a while when you.
Right. Random.
Yeah, random.
Right. Because, again, if it's every day, it get expensive. And I'm telling you, you don't want to do that. But you want to make sure that you are thinking about and again random, because when it's unexpected, that's what makes the difference.
It does.
That's what makes it. I just feel like Valentine's Day takes away so much because I'm anticipating, and heaven help me if I'm anticipating something here, and then your delivery is down here. Right. That's a whole other thing. That's not the ring I showed you.
No, we just like,
right.
Thank you.
That's nice. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Put it in the back of the closet.
Right.
Point two.
Yeah. Number two. And this one's going to get a little tricky, so be careful. I told you, make sure the kids ain't around. All year long, you should be flirting with your spouse without having sex after.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one.
You should be flirting with your spouse. Fellas, flirt with your wife during that week?
During Valentine's week?
No, that week. That time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
Yes.
That went right over my head.
We have to, and this is mostly for the men, but the women too. We need to flirt more with each other without the expectation of sex.
Yeah.
Giggle more. I didn't mean Google. Yeah. Giggle or hang out or just, make each other giddy when you know it's not leading to that.
Right.
Because it means something altogether. I don't care how long you're together, there will be a day when sex is off the table. Mm-hmm. And if the only reason that you tell her she's beautiful, the only reason that you smack her on the booty is because you expected to get some.
Right.
Well, then what happens when that's off the table?
Yeah.
Does that mean she's no longer beautiful? Does that mean that he's no longer handsome? He's no longer attractive?
Right.
Because we can't end up there doing that, right? Mm-hmm. If we can do that, again, on a Thursday because it's Thursday, or on a Saturday for that how we used to look across the room at each other in church, winking, right? That was huge. And it went so far to the point where I would intentionally look for you just to get the wink, right? Because when you do that, when you flirt with somebody and there's nothing on the back end, I'm flirting with you because I want to see you smile, and that's the end. Mm-hmm. It changes the game for the relationship because it says to my spouse they have more value than just the horizontal hustle.
You just said the word.
I can't say the word. I can't say.
But that sounds weird. The horizontal hustle.
Oh, what do you want to call it? What you want to call it?
What is it?
Huh? You want me to say it? I can't say it.
What? We can't say it?
People listening.
Oh, Lord.
I'm shy.
You are not shy. You are not shy.
I'm shy.
He's more flirtatious than I.
Yes, I am.
And sometimes it's annoying, but it does make me giggle. Well, we have 4 kids, so the kids are always like, "Yeah, get a room." I mean, we do get a room, but
the name.
But they always like, "Yeah." But if your kids don't see you enjoying each other,
right,
what's the point?
Yeah. And then what example does it set for them?
Yeah, what example does it set for them in their relationships once they start having relationships? Let your kids see you love on each other and be giddy with each other.
That's right.
That's how a relationship is supposed to be. You're not supposed to be ashamed to be in love with your spouse in front of other people. Yeah. Which I struggled with that the first 5 years. Because I was like, be quiet. No, 7.
Really 7.5, but praise the Lord.
I struggled with that in the first 5 years of our marriage, like just being in love with him in front. I just always be like, no,
oh Lord,
no.
She still don't hold my hand when we walking in public. I'm just saying.
Yes, I do.
For like 30 seconds, we take 5 steps and then she let go.
Okay, that's enough.
It's terrible, and then my hands don't even sweat, so it ain't like it's a sweat. It's terrible.
That's just me, but I've grown to because that's what he need. Like he enjoys it. Like. If it makes him happy, yes, I'm down for it. I'm going to do it. Because if I'm not making him happy, then guess what? He's going to find it somewhere else.
That's the key.
So you have to do something that makes your spouse happy.
Right.
Even though it makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're doing it right if it makes you uncomfortable because that means that you're growing.
Yeah. You're
growing in your relationship and you're growing in yourself. If what you give to your spouse is making you uncomfortable. Yeah. Because we want to be uncomfortable because it helps us to grow.
Right. Yeah. I know I can't be everything that she needs as a woman. She needs her girlfriends. She needs validation in other ways. She needs validation in her career from her peers. There are a lot of things that as her husband, I cannot give her. As the primary man of her life, second only to God, I do have a responsibility to validate her as a woman, aside from and apart from me as your husband. I have to say to you, you're beautiful not because you're my wife. You're beautiful because you are.
Yeah.
There is only one you. You're unique individual. And I need to tell you that like we said, flirting without trying to have sex. You can tell when somebody's flirting to get some versus flirting for the sake of flirting.
And then we flirted before, like when we were dating.
Right.
You had to flirt to get, like you have to continue to flirt to keep.
Yeah, that old expression, what you did to get them is what you got to do to keep them.
Yes.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Don't let it die in your marriage.
Listen.
Because then it will die.
It will. And then it's like, huh? You know,
well,
you
what
get to
happened?
that point.
No,
right.
You wasn't doing what
you're
supposed to do.
Yeah. I mean, and we'll probably have to do a whole show just on that. Because when we were dating and I did stuff, she told me stop. Then when I stopped,
oh Lord,
I'm listen. There's a bus outside, and you're gonna find her under it. I'm telling you now. All that in the bag of chips. Told me, don't open my door for me. I'm good. She wasn't no independent woman. She just didn't know what to do with it. I'm just saying, I was good too.
It was just the guys.
Both of them. Anyway,
when you it's just when you been in a relationship before and other people that you dated wasn't that way.
Sure.
It's, I don't want to say scary, but it's just different.
Yeah.
Like you have to get comfortable with being treated
a different way.
Nice.
Yeah.
When you haven't been treated.
Yeah.
Prior to a good relationship. You haven't been treated nice prior to a good relationship. Yeah, so it's different when someone new comes along. If you're single and you're dating, and then there's a great guy who like he does everything, like, and girls like, girl, if he open your door, something up. He did no. It's just he's a good guy.
Right. Some of us
like, there are still some good men out there.
Some of us have been
that need to be caught, and women need to just relax.
Hello, please listen, chill out. You know, let the brothers do what they need to do. Let them handle it. But I'm gonna tell you this, fellas, don't start what you won't continue.
That's right.
We'll have to make a whole show about that.
Okay.
Flirt without trying to have sex, random gift giving, and then the third one is random, not planned date nights.
Yes.
Go out one, but don't say every Thursday we're gonna go out on date night because it becomes stale.
Yeah, it does.
Let it be random. Let it wait till they get to work at like 11:07 and send a text. Hey, what you doing later? Let's go out. Or I'm gonna pick you up and we're gonna go out. Just because y'all live in the same house, you can still pick them up. You know, I get off. Well, my schedule is a lot more flexible than hers. She's a teacher, so she has like set hours for the most part. And then she needs like 5 to get ready if we're going to go out. But while she's in the house getting ready, I can leave the house and then come back and pick her up. It's doable. But if you can get to a place where you are randomly dating each other.
That's right.
As opposed to just, every Saturday we're going to go out because it's Saturday.
Well, we used to do that. But it got, like you said, it gets stale.
It gets stale.
In my mind, when I get home from work, I want to hit the couch.
Right.
And if you telling me, we're going to do this every Friday, I'm already in my head after work like, I don't feel like
it's Friday.
It's Friday.
Can we do it tomorrow?
Can we do it? Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
So we stopped.
Well, where are we going? How long are we going to be? Listen.
So we stopped making like a day.
Right.
For, he'll say, or text, like he said, he'll text, say, hey, what you want to do tonight? Yeah. And then he'll say, come home, get dressed, like.
Yeah. Or I'll just randomly kidnap you.
Yeah, he kidnapped me from.
I'll in a heartbeat. I will be sitting outside her job when she get off.
Okay.
And be like, get in the truck. We going. Where we going? I don't know. We're going somewhere. We're gonna do something. We're going whatever.
And it don't have to be like a fancy Phillips or Red Lobster.
Right.
Like just
let's go to Subway. You know, they
don't
clean up.
Hanging out. We can still hang out and love each other and in your marriage. Enjoy your spouse.
You know what I realized, and this is something I found out from having a lot of conversations with people. They do a lot of that for show. Think about it. You go on TikTok, you go on Snapchat, you go on Instagram, and you see everything that everybody did. Here we are. We out here. We over here. We over there. Why everybody got to know every time you make a move?
Yeah.
Can we just have a random date night without everybody knowing what we doing, where we going? I don't like your kids because they always ask, where you at? How long you going to be there? When you coming back? Ain't none of your business.
They will literally FaceTime me and be like, Mom, because they know what time I get off of work. And they be looking at that watch. They be like, where you at? I just don't respond. And then they call their dad. He be like, None of your business.
None of it.
And then we just hang out.
Of it. None of it. But get to the place where you are random date nights. Like, don't plan every Thursday, every Friday, or the third Friday of every month. Let it be random, because what it forces you to do is think about your significant other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've said it all the time, and it's I'm working the concept out in my next book. But if I wake up in the morning and you're my first thought after God, and I spend all of my energy and all of my attention on meeting as many of your needs and as many of your wants as possible, you're covered for that day.
Right.
I make sure you have clothes for work. I make sure you got gas in your car. I make sure you have lunch or lunch money. I make sure that the electric bill is paid so that you can have lights when you climb out of the bed, or the water bill is paid so that you can have a hot shower. If I make sure that everything you need you have, and most of what you want you get, you're covered.
Right.
And if you do the same for me, then we're both covered. You know, there'll be days when you'll miss it because you got a lot going on at work. There'll be days when, you know, you forget because you know, you're focused on the big plan or big project or whatever's coming down the road. But by and large, if I spend all of my time and energy taking care of you, and you spend all of your time and energy taking care of me, then a happy spouse makes a happy house.
Yes.
That's what all of that boils down to. And when we get to the place where our relationship has an allowance for more randomness between us, and everything is not so rigid and not so planned, instead of celebrating Valentine's on February 14th, celebrate it on June 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Or celebrate it on August 14th when nothing else is going on.
Right.
Celebrate it September 14th.
Because when you celebrate each other, happy
spouse
makes
happy house.
Yes.
And that's the key.
That's the key.
That's the key. That's what it all boils down to.
You don't want to just make the wife happy.
Right.
Husbands and wives. You don't want to just make the husband happy.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing it together.
Yeah.
So your house should be happy because your spouse is happy.
Right. But you would, and you know, the old expression, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that, because when you're happy, then I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge is you're happy because I've made you happy. But I'm not happy because you're happy. My life is happy because you're happy.
Right.
But am I happy?
Right.
If I spend all of my energy and time and resources on making you happy,
right.
What about what I need? What about what I want?
So
and
happy.
You know, that's where all of that stuff. So get to the place where I need to make sure that my spouse is covered. I need to make sure that my spouse's needs are met. So those are the 3 pointers this week from our topic, Valentine's Day versus Valentine's year. Random gift giving all year long, flirting without trying to have sex, and then random date nights that are not always planned the same day and time every month, but they pop up as time flies, or allows, as time allows.
Think love year.
There you go.
Not love day.
That's right. That's right. Listen, that is all the time we have for this week. I thank you for hanging out with us. I thank you for spending time with us tonight. We are so excited about it. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Betta's verse says, marriage is the most remarkable and most courageous of all human acts. The promise of two of the two human beings to share life together on all levels, physical, economic, and spiritual. A promise made in the face of the certainty of death, the certainty of change, and the uncertainty of everything else. There is nothing else we might choose to do that is quite like this act. Nothing so foolish or so profound. How has your love for each other and for God been deepened as a result of persevering through past struggles in your marriage?
Wow. Yeah. Life is going to be hard. Life is going to be rough. And it's going to throw some stuff at you.
But if you're with the one that you love,
mm-hmm.
you can share all those struggles and all those tribulations and changes together.
All those challenges.
All those challenges together.
Because we're better together. That's right.
Forever.
That's it. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so glad. I can't believe the hour is already up.
Yeah.
It's been an hour, and we could have kept going longer.
Thanks for joining us.
Make sure that you follow us on Instagram. Look for Happy Spouse, Happy House. Follow us on Twitter. We're also on Twitter, Happy Spouse HH, and you'll find us on Twitter. Look us up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook group, Happy Spouse, Happy House. Be sure to look for this logo right here, and you'll know that you've got the right page. But we want to encourage you and your spouse to spend some time together. Even if it's just this 1 hour every week, make sure that you lock away, turn off the TV, put the kids out for a little while, and just take a moment to enjoy each other. One of the reasons why we chose the couch as our concept is because that's the place we always seem to find each other.
On the couch.
And so take a moment with each other. Make sure that you mark your calendars. We're here every Thursday night, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. You can follow us on all those social media platforms. We are on Awesome God Radio, and so you can find us on their platforms as well. We're so excited about this. We're going to be here every week at 9 p.m. And make sure you tune in next week when we talk about couples nightly routine. What do y'all do together to get ready for bed? Because some people are getting, they're getting ready for bed, but not for sleep. We'll talk about that next week. So join us next week on the 25th of February, 9 p.m. right back here on the couch. Listen, she's Veta.
And that's Mac.
And this is Couch Conversations. We'll see you next week.
Good night.